Good morning. Okay, as we finish getting everybody settled into where they need to be, let's get our reminder of our be safe, be respectful, be responsible. We're at zero voice level. We are here to pay respect to our veterans. Veterans Day is tomorrow. We are celebrating that today. We have many community members here and veterans here at our assembly, and thank you very much for being here. It is also the Marine Corps birthday, so we will be sharing some information about that as well. If you don't have a program, we do have some programs in the back. We are not handing them out to each student. We would like to have our community have them, and if there's any teachers that need a program as well. Also, we have Peace Lutheran here joining us today. And with our band, we have our students from the middle school, and also some students from Peace Lutheran are playing as well. So thank you all for your hard work in preparation for this assembly. At this time, we would again like to welcome you to the 2023 Veterans Day program. We want to thank all community members who have joined today. We also want to extend that special welcome to our veterans who are here with us today. Veterans Day is a day to thank all who have served in our armed forces, to protect our country here and worldwide. We respect our veterans and can show that by listening quietly to our speakers during their presentations. Veteran, thank you for your service to our nation. Thank you for your sacrifices and your willingness to serve our country. You have endured hardships, and we're willing to risk your life to maintain our freedom. Veterans, you have done your duty to your families, to your communities, to your fallen comrades, and your country. You have honorably served your nation with great distinction, and we can never say it enough. Thank you for your service in both war and peace. At this time, we'd like you to silence your cell phones or any technology devices. And as you look at your programs, we have some very creative pictures on the front of them, and those are from our students. And we would like to recognize the following students at this time. So please stand up where you are located. Kylie Kopetsky. Is Kylie standing? Yep. Raise your hand. Thank you. She created one of our program covers. Liliana Greasy, please stand up. Raise your hand. Thank you. Jamie Suddy. Thank you, Jamie. And we have Xander Ludwell. Thank you. And Marley Lensner. Thank you, Marley. Let's give them all a hand. Beautiful programs. Thank you. So we had many students create different covers, but we did select 5 for our programs that we ran off and printed for our assembly today. So again, thank you. Again, please make sure that your phones are silenced and any other devices. And we are getting ready to start the actual assembly at this time. So at this time, I would like to introduce our 7th grade student council member, Zoe Smith. She's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And then after the pledge, you're going to stay standing. And it's going to be a little bit, because Zoe then is going to head up to the band and help play. So again, we're going to be standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to stay standing. And then we're going to have the Star Spangled Banner played by our band. Okay? Everybody please stand up. Zoe?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Zoe. Keep standing. We're going to be getting ready to go right into our Star Spangled Banner, which is by Francis Scott Key and John Stafford Smith, and it'll be played by our Antigo Middle School Band under the direction of Miss Melina. Thank you. And you can be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Molina. At this time, we're going to have two of our 7th grade student council members, Natalia Ullman and Bailey Stuckbauer. They're each going to be reading a poem in honor of Veterans Day. The first poem is entitled, Thank You, Dear Soldier, by an unknown author. Natalia?
Thank you, dear soldier. You fought and won freedom for all underneath our country's emblem. You've given new meaning to what freedom means and have given us hope to believe. So now let us show our thanks for the life you gave and for the lives you have saved.
Thank you, Natalia. At this time, we have Bailey Stuckbauer. Bailey is going to read the second poem, and it's called As We Celebrate Veterans Day by Marilyn Lott, and here she is.
As we celebrate Veterans Day, did you ever see anything more beautiful than our flag on a breezy day? The freedom that goes with its flow shows exactly what it means to say. It honors all of its heroes through all the years of strife. Some have now long been buried, but so many are still alive. For freedom is not an easy thing, but we take it so for granted. We have to strive for one main goal. We have to be united. So as we celebrate this Veterans Day, remember what it means. Remember what those who lost their lives and those to give us to our dreams.
Thank you, Bailey. At this time, Natalia and Bailey are going to join the choir because they're going to be singing after our presentation by our speaker today. So thank you. Are you in choir? Thank you. All right. At this time, I'd like to present some information for our speaker today. At this time, we have Jill Maddock, who will be speaking. Jill Maddock Nelson will be speaking today. And she and her 3 siblings were born and raised in Antigo. All 4 of the Maddock children graduated from Antigo High School, with 3 of 4 returning home to raise their families. Jill's older brother, Lance Corporal John James Maddock Jr., known to many as Johnny, was a student at University of Stevens Point and playing on the Pointers football team when terrorists attacked our homeland on 9/11/2001. Johnny selflessly postponed his final year of college to serve his country. He enlisted in the Marines in April 2004 and was deployed in Iraq in March 2005, serving in the infantry unit. On June 8th, 2005, Johnny sustained injuries as a result of an explosion while conducting combat operations against enemy forces. Johnny died on June 13th, 2005. Jill is here to share a message for our Veterans Day. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction and offer to participate in this beautiful service. It is truly an honor. Veterans Day is intended to thank and honor all veterans who served honorably in the United States Armed Forces in wartime and in peacetime. Particularly, Veterans Day is largely intended to thank the living. My veteran didn't make it home to us, but instead to his eternal resting place. So my goal is to share a perspective from a living family member of a deceased veteran. As shared in the introduction, Johnny grew up and graduated from Antigo, which means he attended the Antigo Middle School. He walked these very hallways, sat in the same classrooms, and played sports in this very gym. Some of your teachers here today are the same teachers and coaches that taught and coached my veteran, and I think that's pretty special. My mom, sister, and I had the honor of welcoming home the men who served alongside my brother when they stepped off the plane onto American soil at the completion of their tour in Iraq. Nothing happens by coincidence. And from that day, when we welcomed Johnny's Marine family home, they became a part of our family too. My mom, sister, and I also had the opportunity to welcome my Uncle Yogi home when his plane landed in Wausau after traveling to Washington, D.C. on the never-forgotten honor flight. Honoring him alongside all veterans on the flight that day was like being on the sideline when the Packers run onto the field at Lambeau. It's truly that powerful. Freedom is not free. The men and women of the United States Armed Forces selflessly and courageously vowed to protect and serve, no matter the cost, because their love for our country, for each one of us, means their sacrifice could include giving their life to save ours. For those that didn't give the ultimate sacrifice, many endure challenges that stay with them even after they're no longer active military. Those challenges can include, but are certainly not limited to, physical scars on their bodies, physical limitations, sleep struggles, and/or emotional pain. It is for these reasons and countless more that we owe it to our veterans to show our respect and appreciation for their sacrifices and the sacrifices of their families so that every one of us can live free. The last time Johnny was home, he gave my parents an envelope sealed with black tape with a note stating, "You'll know when to open this. Otherwise, I'll take it back." In that envelope was a letter we read upon his death. I'll share the opening lines. "The flag stands for freedom, and I will defend her, no matter what the cause, because the cause is just paperwork for the weak. It's the buddy to my left and right that will be defended by my hand, my blade, my bullet." Today, we pay our respect to the brave men and women, both past and present, of the United States military. It is my most sincere hope that every time you stand, place your hand over your heart, look up at the flag, and sing the national anthem or say the Pledge of Allegiance, you will remember our flag stands for freedom, and freedom is not free. Our military has protected our rights and our freedoms to allow each one of us to be our own unique selves. To each veteran here today, on behalf of my family, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your selfless courage to protecting our national security and our freedom. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you. Thank you all for listening attentively. Thank you, Jill, for sharing your message for you and your family. At this time, we are going to have our Anago Middle School Choir sing American Tears by Teresa Jennings.
Thank you to our AMS choir. That was beautiful. And thank you to Mrs. Schaefer. She has been directing our choir at this time. Next, I would like you guys to direct your attention up to our north balcony. Our band will be playing next. They are playing the Armed Forces March by Michael Sweeney. Military members, we please ask that if you're able, you can stand and be recognized during the playing of this song. Thank you to our 7th grade band, and thank you to Mrs. Molina for directing our 7th grade band. Next, I would like to introduce to you guys another special guest that we have here with us today. His name is Tom Manicheski. Tom is another true example of an Antagonian. He was born here, he graduated at Antigo High, and walked across this very stage in 1962. And has continued to reside here ever since. Tom has spent some time away from Antigo, and the biggest part of that was his time serving in the United States Marine Corps. Tom has served as a Marine for 3 years right after his graduation. He saw action in the Vietnam War and was honored as part of the first groups landing overseas. After his time in the Marines, Tom got married and has been with his wife for the last 58 years. He is a life member. He is active at our local VFW. He serves as our county commander for the American Legion, is a member of the Marine Corps League, and has been a part of the Honor Guard for the last 15 years. Tom is here today to help us celebrate the 248th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. This stadium has some history. I always like to brag about. Back in 1960, I was a sophomore here, and there was a politician coming through town, and he stood on this stage. Some of you might remember him. He did become president in 1960. John F. Kennedy stood on this very stage. And it was sad in '63 when we heard that he had been assassinated. Well, anyway, today being the Marine Corps birthday, there's always a tradition of the reading of the Order 47. So the following will be read to the command on the 10th of November, 1921, and hereafter on the 10th of November of every year. Should the order not be received by the 10th of November, it will be read upon receipt. On November 10th, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousand men have bore the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we who are Marines should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of most famous military organizations in the world's history. During 90 of the first 146 years of its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Argonne, Marines have won foremost honors in war in the long eras of tranquility at home. Generation after generation of Marines have grown gray in war in both hemispheres and in every corner of the seven seas, that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the great distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. The high name of distinction and soldierly repute we who are Marines today have received from those who preceded us in the Corps. With it, we have also received from them the external spirit which has animated our Corps from generation to generation and has been the distinguishing mark of the Marines in every age. So long as that spirit continues to flourish, the Marines will find equal to every emergency in the future as they have been in the past. And the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. Signed, John A. Lejeune, Major General, Commandant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom, and happy birthday to our Marine Corps. Next, we will have our flag folding ceremony. Tom Manicheski will be moderating each of the 13 folds. I would also like to welcome Dan Pearson, Terry, Emberly, and Bryson Deppies to the front to do the flag folding.
The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of America to attain justice throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for it is the words of Stephen Decatur, our country in the daring dealings with other countries. May America always be right in establishing peace, liberty, and justice. The sixth fold is for where our heart is. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all America's enemies, whether they be found within our domestic borders or offshore in foreign lands. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The 10th fold is attributed to our fathers, for he too has given his sons and daughters for defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon and glorifies in the Hebrew's eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in our Christian eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold shows the stars and reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust."
Thank you. Next, we will have our 3-volley salute honoring the fallen. I would like everyone to please stand and direct their attention towards the east end of our gym. Our salute will take place outside, followed by the taps. Please remain standing for the 3-volley salute and for the taps.
Thank you, and a thank you to Allie Fuller for playing our taps. Very nice job. Thank you. In conclusion to our assembly, I want to thank all of our students, families, community members, and veterans for participating in our assembly today. Everybody did a wonderful job being respectful to our speakers, to listening to our band and our choir. There's a lot of time that goes into this, and I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much. I'd also like to acknowledge Danny Pyatt, our school board president, is here today, and also Glenda Ojinski, our superintendent. Thank you for being here with us. At this time, we are going to have some of our students being dismissed. We're first of all going to have our Peace Lutheran is going to be dismissed, and they're going to exit out door 13. Thank you again for joining. Our community and veterans, again, thank you, and you are allowed to be dismissed at this time, and we will take care of your chairs, so you can just head on out to the front or mix and mingle as you need to. Thank you for coming.